Well, hello and welcome back to part 12 of the NX-01 build. Today we're going to be working on the secondary impulse engines, getting them together, and I'm going to put some blue LEDs in there so they light up all nice. So let's head on over to the bench and take a look. Oh, hello. Welcome back. We're doing a little prep for the secondary impulses. I think that's what these are. I want to get these guys painted and give you a little update on how the bottom Aztecs came out. It came out really good. Everything looks great. Just have the back of the hull stuck on there just for temporary. Just to see what it was looking like. But yeah, Aztecing came out really good, so very, very happy with that. Got it all painted, clear coated, so I actually started painting little details in the control panel there. It'll have two little dishes that will go on there. I still have to paint yet, but I figure I'd get to these pieces that go onto there. I think this is a secondary impulse, which I'm going to add two blue LEDs to. The kit from Gary Hughes, he does tell you to drill holes in these little pieces here, which I did. Just light them higher. Which I did. I already drilled the holes in that and filed them out so they look good, and then I'm going to take these blue LEDs and stick them inside here. And it's kind of crazy how these go together, so I'm hoping there should be enough gap for this wire to come through. So, and this one I already got started. See, I took a piece of styrene to lift the LED up. Let's see if I can get in there a little closer. But yeah, put a piece of styrene to lift the LED up, bent the prongs over that way so they'll go into the ship, because this will be against a wall. This will be where you can see through, and then this will be the output of it. And this piece will go there, and then eventually I'll put this piece will go there. I keep forgetting to look and make sure I'm showing that to the camera. And then I'll put a little bit of a window maker in there. But I wanted to get these together. I think on the instructions it actually shows you putting this one piece on the lower and one piece on the upper hull and then fitting it together. And I figured that would be kind of tight. One more thing that I'd have to try to squeeze together while I'm putting that together. So I figured this would actually fit on there. Hopefully I can glue these two together. This will go, stick the peg in there, pin. And then this piece has got to go in here like this. They actually show it coming through the front, but maybe once you have this shape. But I did a little filing so it fits tight. Try to minimize any light leaks. Probably have to, in this corner here, probably have to put a little bit of something in there to seal that. Window maker work probably really good, or putty. Plus then I can clean these seams up while it's not on the ship. So I figure I'd get all this together and then paint it and then install it onto the ship when it's all put together. So I'm hoping this will be the easier way. We'll find out. But like I said, I got this part technically, well, started at least. Just got to add the resistor, and then we'll do the other part. So I have everything out I need. I already put the piece of styrene on there already, but maybe I should just do that first. Let's see, putting the resistors on and solder all at one time. What I'm doing it to the part that has the hole for the peg to go into. That way I can easily wrap. I want this to be centered. I made a mark here so I know where this little hole, LED sticking in my fingers, so I know where this hole is going to line up. I made a little mark so I can direct the LED right to it. This way, if you try to, wrap around there, you're guessing, and when you press it together it might get pinched and stuff. So at least this way I can just go around that peg like that. I don't know if you can see. Just go around like that, and then when this one comes down on top, since that's the skinny peg goes in there, it's not going to be in the way. So that's what we will do. But first I'm going to do a little pre-bending here. Grab this and use this little tool I like because it actually fits around the wires like that. And then if the LED is sitting above the little stock piece for this piece to get glued into, it seems like it'll pretty much center in the window or the actual thruster opening. So I'm going to say that's pretty good. Take some super glue. This is getting really close to being empty, and it's getting real thick. It's almost turned into a thick super glue. So the tip's gotten so boogered up in the cap, and I've drilled the cap out so the tip goes in better. And but it's been still getting air. For so long now that it's starting to turn into a thick. Which is okay. Sometimes you can take the thinner super glue, but I can't get this top off. But sometimes you can take the thinner super glue and actually put some in there, and it will help. Yeah, look at that, so thick. It'll help loosen that up. But yeah, I can't. This cap's got so much stuff in it, and I keep grinding it out, breaking pieces out of there. It's almost done. I'm trying to clean this up. It's been a while since I cleaned this up. Take a knife and kind of get a light little scrape. It sometimes helps, but not really. Maybe it'll close a little better. Not much though. It's getting down to its life. I got a new bottle ready, but until then I'll keep using it and using it up. And what I'm going to do with these, bend this one up a little bit, and actually they need to bend this way. Find the slot. And just bend them around. Another thing I do is, because when you start bending these leads of the LED, you can't really tell which one's the longer one and which one's the shorter one. So you can easily lose track of which is the anode and cathode. So what I do is I'll take a, especially close to the LED, I'll take a little red marker and mark it red. That way you don't lose track of what's what. When you start bending them, you don't see the the length anymore. So, or if you choose to cut it, which I am going to cut this one to add the resistor. So actually cut that now. This one I don't have to as much. I'm just going to cut the negative because it's the opposite way. Sometimes I try to keep them the same, but for some reason I didn't this time. I try to keep the parts with each other. Alright. But I have a whole case of LEDs, so I figured I'm going to actually put a light in those. I mean, I see on his kit it just says drill a hole there, and I guess he was assuming light would bounce around in the ship and actually make it there, but I'm going to make sure it lights that up nice and bright, since it is a form of a thruster. Alrighty, let's get my handy dandy tweezers. It's actually not a bad length, so. Really? It's always pointing towards the ground no matter how you set that down. Go. Now I gotta figure out what wires I want, but there's that one. Just thinking, we don't need much here. Test it too to make sure. I should clean this as well. Go. Again. The excess. Now, what do we have for wire? Got a lot of red and black, but I want to save. I don't want to use magnet wire because also got to see where these got to go. Got the instructions. Where is its junction going to be? Well, one side's going to be real close, and the other side's going to have some distance. that's the other thing. Without attaching these on, and I can't put them on until the ship's on, I'm actually going to have to bring some jumpers. These will stick out far enough, the positives. I have to stick some jumpers out for the negatives. And maybe I can use what I just cut off the resistors for that. And that would be all I would need to do. And then I can just bring, when I connect the saucers, make sure out of each one of those, when I close the saucer down, that I leave tails sticking out. That's how I'm going to have to do that. Because the only way I'm going to connect it is kind of like the fins on the nacelles and the Enterprise. I actually left tails out and then tails out of the fin and glued them and then soldered them together and then did it. So I'm going to have to do the same thing to this. And like I said, there's enough, which is the one that says A on it. This one, so that one goes there. There's enough. And look, I already cleaned up the seams from to make sure that doesn't have light coming bleeding through. So I light blocked them. So there's enough coming out of the positive. One's up a little high. I can push it down. Oh, maybe sticking up a little bit too. Ooh, but this one I can't push down. Let's make sure this will close. Like I said, I think this is going to spread open more when I put the on the ship. But boy, that is close. Let's see if I can. I have to re-glue this one down. Looks good. That's one thing to be careful and make sure you don't have your LED up so high that it hits the roof of the other one. It's hard to look in there. Bad at all. I wish I could come down a little more. But that'll work. So those two, and that's that window. This one I left a little bit of wire so I could, it's not, the LED is not squished right up on the, like there's some wire extending past the styrene I glue, so I can move that one up and down. But And then we can test them. Let's do that. Yeah, so I'm not going to need any wire. I'm just going to, well, let's solder these on really quick. These little extenders. To the negative side. That way I have something to reach. Will they be long enough? Yep. Okay. Good, good. Do this by hand because it wants to move, and I don't want any cold solder joints. So there we go. Extended that out. That way it all will come out past the opening, so I can then solder my positive and negative onto that. Do the next thing to this. So tiny. Phew, excuse me. Phew, wow. Alrighty then. Give it a good tug. Let's see if everything's working right. I don't think I need the crazy glue quite yet. Trying to keep things together. Oh, there we go. Another thing I'm going to try. Let's see what it looks like wet. There we go. Let's stick the window in, or the actual thruster. Oh, likely it's not going to be terribly bad. And once I get the window maker in there, it'll catch it and really, yeah, it'll pull that light up there. I could have put the bulb right against that, but I think once I put the window maker in there, it'll be fine. Yeah, and the light leak is not bad at all. And there it is. I can't move all these cables. But yeah, that's looking good. So we can glue these together, putty them, clean up the seams, left that on, make sure the other one's working too. These need to be pulled apart. Thank you. Voila, there's that one too. So excellent. And like I said, I'll just leave wires coming out of the ship, then I can solder onto these. So that works great. Shut power off. Again, I gotta order the leads where it just has these two maybe, or at the most, but I'm happy with these, or just alligator clips, whatever I can find, because all this other stuff I don't need all in one bundle. So let me pause here because I need to blow my nose. So be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. That sneeze made me have to blow my nose. Alright, glasses. Okay, so let's get some stuff off the table here. I think we're ready to start gluing these together then. That goes there, and this one goes here. I'm not going to glue these pegs because I'm really not sure how much it's going to have to open like this here, and that'll give it some flexibility. I'm just going to hit this seam and the whole window, you know, or the port, this end part. That alone will hold it good, and then when I slide it over the ship, you know, there's two flat, see on the saucers. Actually slide over these pieces like that. It's gonna do this, and that's what I'm worried about there. It's gonna do that. And just gonna make sure everything's square and level as far as but yeah, it'll look like that on the ship. Be careful, there's walls back there. Hopefully there's just enough, but boy, that's going to be tight. I'm probably going to have to grind. Slip out of the way. Probably going to have to grind a little bit. It looks like I can sneak stuff straight out that way too. But I got to remember there's going to be a whole other piece that's going to fit in there too. So I might grind a notch right there in here, but I might have to grind a notch there where especially the resistor is going to come through. I mean, I could push and tuck the resistor in there and should have left the lead really long. Because I have a feeling that this is going to be tight, and then this is going to grab and pinch that like up like that. But I don't think I have to notch much out of that. I could actually notch that whole, like a whole section of the step away. I could probably take and just totally get rid of that. Like a little piece. Maybe about 5 millimeters or something. That's all I would need. I can squeeze and bend all this together, especially if I shrink tube it so nothing touches. Get that fit. could even do a centimeter, but I don't think I need to. If I shrink tube all those in case they do have to squeeze in, they won't touch each other. Get this a little more straight. Bring this around. I might slide some shrink tube right around this negative so it doesn't hit the positive. That would probably be a smart thing to do. So let's do that. And then I'll just grind little notches there for the resistor to be able to not get pinched. But do I have a small enough piece of shrink tube? Yes, I do. That would go over all that. Yep. So we want to go about and then I'll slide another piece of shrink tube over when I solder the wires on. So come on, slide over. Leave enough solder onto, and in case they squish together, I won't get a short circuit. Now, where is my lighter? Sometimes you can use the heat of your solder gun, but I don't have it mega hot, so yeah, that'll take forever. Now, where do I have a lighter? Sorry if my head's getting in the way. Probably somewhere where I can't get it. There it is. I usually keep my orange one in there, but it finally died from shrink tube and everything. There we go, and then that leaves me enough to solder a wire to. And we'll do the same to the other side. Put that there. Let's get the shrink tube on there first. Or is this piece big enough? This might be the right size. Is that a little too big? Just a smidge. Or do I have, I know I have cut pieces in there. Thought I did, maybe not. Just need to cut a smidge off there. That way I can bend that up, but let's heat that up quick. Now I can bend these close together, like that. And fit that within, like, you know, yeah, fit both of those in a 5mm notch. Beautiful. Alright. I like that, but I didn't realize I could have just went straight out the back end. It don't matter. 6 1/2 dozen the other. This goes with that one. Yeah. Alright, so I think we're ready to glue. What do I use for glue? We'll use that and some super glue to hold it together so everything's tacked good. This part I don't think I'll have to super glue. Like I said, I'm not going to glue these points here. That way I have room for this to go if it's a tight squeeze. So, how do I want to tack this? Put the glue on this edge. Put some super glue there and there, I think, and then the rest of it regular glue. Let's put the regular glue down first because it. But it could go different because I'm going to need I want to put these pieces together first, and I'm afraid if so let's put the super glue in the center. It's only to hold it until I get it. And get my stick, because I always got to start this stuff. Don't get it why. I should use the regular putty or glue. Come on, because they're closing in. This piece in. There we go. I think if I get this strategically pressed. Should hold everything together. I'll do two. And then I might have to use tape. It's too rounded off, the clamps won't stay. They should have rubber feet on them. That would be fabulous, but they don't. Everything pushed in the way I want it. Set that side to dry. Let's keep this at least on its side. Another piece of tape ready. And just do the exact same thing on the other side. You're going to do the super glue first because could have been a wrong choice. There we go. Go. Yep, there's good. Well, let's get the tape out first. A little bit of excess glue squirting out, but that's always good. Oh, super glue did not grab. Oh well. Probably because it's hard for me to get activator in there, or this other glue just does not let it stick, which I think is more what it is. There we go. Set those aside and dry. But I figure I'd just show you that. It's a little add-on I'm going to do. Oh, that's another thing I could do is run. Well, I'll wait till it's cured before I run the Tamiya thin glue around. I always like to do that because it flows in all the cracks, and anywhere that other glue didn't move, it will flow into it. That's what I do like about this is the last, second gluing. It's hard to glue things together all right away, but once you do, and if it feels a little squishy or, even gaps, it'll fill. But you put that in the seam and boom, it spreads. So, alright, next I'll be back and we'll do the, start putting the hull together. I do have a few more things on the engines to paint before I start that. Show you. Here's our nacelles. They're pretty much in the same spot. Make sure I don't have glue on my hands before I touch them. They're pretty much in the exact same spot. Got this one all painted up. Still has the tape on there. This one I think I do have to hit a clear because I added these stripes using the hull color, or the Aztec color, which is a zinc, I think, and the other one's a galvanized tin. I think that's what they're calling the main hull color. So I did these bands here. I did a band all the way around the back half here. I got the bronze on there. Got the gunmetal or band going around there. It's subtle. It actually flowed into the cracks deeper, so I kind of like that. But I figured before I cleared this whole piece, I would get this band here, which I'm going to do in the antique bronze, which is kind of a goldish. So, and this one I already did a clear because I had to finish the seams. And same thing, we're in the same situation, same spot, just got to do this band here and then give it another clear to seal that. And yeah, they're looking good. It's coming along. I'm glad I did those bands. I didn't notice that those are different. It's interesting. This one's got the bands going all the way across, and this one doesn't have that here. It's kind of, you can see, yeah, see how the bands on this one go all the way across and this one don't. That's kind of neat. So they're different. And I want to retape this up because I don't want to clear it. I'm still not sure how I'm going to do, like, when I hit this with a satin at the very end, do I leave the tape on and leave them a shiny, or do I hit it with a satin over top? I think I'm going to leave it a shiny because sometimes I don't like how the satin makes things look too foggy. So, but that's where those are. But I got to finish those two things up before I put all the hull pieces together. But I needed to get these cleared, so because I think the best way, I'm not going to hand brush these. Like all this I hand brushed, you know, and it was just easier. You know, I could have taped them, and taping them wouldn't have been too hard. Could have done one band at a time, but you always have to clear, because if you have to tape over this stuff, I'm afraid it'll peel up. So, and it was so easy, and this stuff flattens out so good. So, but I don't know about hand brushing this because it's a lot to do, and to go around this edge, I don't know how to play with it, because the only problem I want to hand brush it is to get into these notches here. It'd be so much easier just to brush it in there. I could put a little piece of tape on this to keep me from hitting the inside of that, and you know, get it to flow down in those gaps. This side of the ring wouldn't be hard. This side I think would be harder to tape off. I don't know. Let's see. They come up and over, I can push it down, so I'll try the masking because that'll be quicker. But we'll see. But there we go. Next time I'm going to paint some few things, stuff I'm, you know, just painting, so I probably won't film them, you know, the thruster ports. I gotta paint these, whatever, these things, I forget what they're called. But that go on the top of the ships, I gotta paint that. I gotta start painting the actual deflector dish. I gotta start doing all those pieces. And then these here, which I'll do a steel. These two are in the front, these two are on the sides, and yeah, they don't get anything like that. These are the little pieces that go in between where the dish is. I thought they would be a hull color, but it's saying steel, and I think that's actually a good idea because they go right next to these pieces. They'll be like that in a way next to those pieces, which are steel. So, and the inside of the deflector dish is all steel, and the inner pieces anyway. So these pieces, which attach to the clear part of the deflector dish, they're going to be a steel. They said cobalt blue. I don't know if I want to do cobalt blue. I don't see why they would be cobalt blue. should be metal structure pieces where all the other things get attached to, I believe. All these little pieces here get attached, I think, go in holes like that and whatever, whatnot. I'm not sure, not positive. All these pieces that go inside around the deflector dish, these all get gunmetal. All these little pieces, but these actually attach to the dish. Oh, and I did get the actual deflector painted a transparent blue, which is gonna be nice. But then these pieces here go right here, where there's 1, 2, 3, 4 spots, and they go in there, and they call for them to be cobalt blue. But I don't know about that. I think they should look like a part of the ship there. You're not mainly going to see it because this is going to be riding right there, but you'll see a little bit of them. And maybe they wanted to be in blue so they hide, but why have them there if you're going to hide them? You know, I would think there'd be a structural thing going across. So I'm going to do a steel, and I think the steel will, when the blue light comes through anyway, it's just going to reflect it and make it look blue anyway. But at least when it's shut off, you can look in there and see, you know, some structure in there. So that's what I thought. I'm doing a little something different, doing the caps on the top of the ship, a steel. Most of the time they're the same color as the hull, but I think they look cool and different. This panel part goes on the top of the ship. I'll do a steel, and I believe it gets a dish or two on the top of that, at least one. I know some of these get dishes put in them. Usually they're quite a hole. The bottom will get 1 or 2. The bottom of the ship here, yeah, it gets 2 in those 2 holes. Let's see there, it gets 2 in there. I got quite a few. I got what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of them, so they gotta go somewhere, and I think they might go on these panels. They might go on these little spots here. Might get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, that might be what's going on. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. So that's what I'm just going to do doing those things there, and so there's no real reason to show you all that, but just painting. But yeah, that looks good. And when I cleared that, I cleared the back main impulse, or the primary impulse, I guess you would call it. I did those pieces. Hopefully I have the right one per the side. Yep. So that'll look good. Put those in. So, all right, but when I come back, we'll be putting the lower hull together. I'll pop them off the saucers and we'll get them together, get the engines, the nacelles run through and glued up, and then we can glue it to one of the saucers once it's glued up and carried and any seam work fixed. So until then, I'll see you shortly.